Hey, welcome to Blurred is the Word halftime report for Secret Invasion. So if you have not watched this, if you have not watched this, but if you have not watched Secret Invasion, you probably don't want to watch this just yet. This is for episode 1 through 3. Spoilers will be happening. But with that being said, I have a special correspondent with me today. Fantastic poet, fantastic writer, performer, friend of mine. We got New Era Sunshine. Feeling good?
Yep.
Good. Good to have you here.
Same. Thanks.
Yeah, I've been wanting you for a long time. Pause.
Glad to be here.
But like I said, we're here for Secret Invasion. We're going to start with a little description from IMDb. Fury and Talos try to stop the Skrulls who have infiltrated the highest spheres of the Marvel Universe. Creator Kyle Bradstreet, star Samuel Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn. So we're going to go by episode a little bit. What did you think of episode 1?
Oh, man. So when I first started watching it, and this is the post that you saw. When I first started watching, I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. I had to take myself back. Shout out to Screen Crush, because I'm like, wait a minute, why is he so old? And then I like to go back and watch stuff over anyway, just to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Do you watch the Disney Plus? They have a little section with Legends or something like that where they bring you up to speed on everybody before the movies come out or the shows.
So, yes and no. I have watched it, but I didn't watch it for this one because Screen Crush is my crutch.
Okay. So I like it too.
I did that first, and I was already in the middle of a Marvel marathon with a friend of mine who also needs to be really super caught up because she's like, yeah, last one I saw was into the Spideyverse. I'm like, oh babe, you can't watch anything.
No, not at all.
You're cut off. You can't watch anything after that until we get all the way caught up. But yeah. So did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Oh
well,
yeah. But how did I feel about it over
episode
oh man.
one
So
overall.
not after I got caught up, I'm just I'm thoroughly just loving, like I said before when we're in our side conversation, I love the storytelling. It's kind of like going into WandaVerse. We're just okay. Well, what's really happening? What's going on? Especially when it opens up with I always forget the colonizer's name.
Yeah, from Wakanda, the officer guy.
Yeah,
I forgot his name, but yeah,
I forgot.
Everett Ross. That's
Everett Ross.
Yeah, that's the
colonizer in chains. Not in chains in this one right now.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting opening up with him, and I'm like, wait a minute, shouldn't he be in Wakanda? I'm like, okay, know what? I forgot that with the Skrulls and Captain Marvel and Nick Fury, they going back and forth between time periods. So I'm like, okay, maybe we in the 90s. We in the 90s right now.
Oh,
and
okay.
then he made the statement about, Fury being in space. I'm like, okay, no, we not in the 90s.
Yeah.
So it's just you just have to really pay attention.
You knew something was up at that point.
Which universe are we in? Or which part of the multiverse are we in? Which actual year are we in?
Yeah.
But no, it's a man. I need to watch it again. Because, I always go back and watch again anyway.
Okay. Yeah, it starts off with Fury returning to Earth. Apparent emergency. Maria Hill called them. Mm-hmm. They got some investigating to do, basically. Yeah. Long story short, Skrulls is out of control. Trying to take over the planet.
And they're acting like roaches.
And we have at the end of episode 1, Maria Hill dying.
Which was just
I was devastated.
For me, it wasn't as hard as some of the other deaths have been in the Marvelverse, but it was still well, damn. They ain't even really fully made up and solidified what was really going on and caught up on each other's lives and stuff, and then she just pow. And then for it to be that she's shot down by what looks like to be Nick Fury. And it's
that was the word. She was like, it was you?
Right. It's
I was
no, it wasn't. Wake back up. Yeah. Wake up, white girl. Wake up.
White girl. I think Kingsley Ben-Adir, the guy that plays Gravik, is incredible. I like him.
Yeah, I'm really excited for him.
Yeah.
Because I was just looking up. Sorry, I'm making all this noise on the table, but I was just seeing the article that he's getting ready to play Marley.
I seen that,
and I'm like,
I seen your post about that.
We finally get a Bob Marley biopic. It's way overdue, so I'm really excited. He's a really good actor.
He is. This is a sidebar conversation, real quick.
Yep.
No, but how do you feel about English men of color playing roles of American or any other thing besides? Like, that's a thing, apparently.
It is, and I think it's stupid, honestly.
I think so, too.
And then especially if you go back to, Wakanda, right? Like, that's what that whole Black Panther, that's what that whole movie was supposed to be about. Like, look, we are all connected.
Yep.
So
I like we're gonna
we're gonna be playing each other. We're gonna be using a piece of each other's essence and style and all that kind of stuff because we're all connected. It's not anything done by mistake. And of course, you have several, up and coming and regular American actors and stuff that can be whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So what? Like, get the role then. Like, do the work that you need to do to get the role. Why are we doing all this infighting? We talked about that the last time that I was interviewed with you. Yep. Like, there's no need for it. Like, we can all celebrate. We can all eat. I've been saying that a lot lately. We can all eat. Like, stop.
For sure.
I think the only reason why it does become a problem is if there is, like, some anti-American, anti-Black American sentiment done by the actor. But even then, there's always going to be some discussion, that needs to be had because there's always going to be a point of view that needs to be well-rounded. We need to have those more conversations around that. You know what I mean? So it's so a British Black can always be like, they're spoiled, blah 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 blah. I'm like, not me. You don't know all of us, Playboy. But you know what I mean? So those conversations still need to be had.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so we go to episode 2. We got Emilia Clarke, of course, playing Gaia, Ben Mendelsohn's daughter in this show, which I like.
Yeah, and I like her as an actress too.
Yeah, I do too. And there's episode 2, she's trying to figure out what's going on. And it's funny. Did you see the DNA of all the characters to make the Super Scrolls?
So I did. But I didn't look at it all the way.
Okay, so I press pause.
So again, no, because again, I told you, Screen Crush, and then I'm always going back and rewatching because at the end of the day, I'm just like, well, what do I do with my life now? And I know I've missed something. Even when I'm reading my graphic novels or whatever, I'm like, every time a new volume comes out, I go back and watch over. Or watch, but I go back and read over because there's always something that you miss. And that can be tiresome to some people, but that also helps the story last longer.
It does.
I get really attached.
I see.
I'm an attached personality, so I'm like, don't leave me yet.
That's fun. That's funny. Okay.
Yeah, but no, you were going. I do like her as an actress, but you were saying that I see all of the people.
Yeah, the frost giant from Thor: The Dark World, a piece of Groot, and the extremist virus or whatever the case. Whatever you want to call it.
And somebody's hand was cut off.
That was Gravik.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, his hand was cut in the episode. Yep.
Good. And
then we end the episode 2 on Sam Jackson feeling, I guess, defeated or whatever the case may be. Don Cheadle fired him, apparently.
That was
a
brilliant conversation. It was a great scene.
And I'm glad they went there with the black thing.
Right. And they've been doing that a lot lately, and I like it. That's what I really loved about Captain America, but that's not the name.
And the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. That's what I really loved about that.
Yeah,
so I'm just like, get really real.
Yeah.
Because it's like and it's a similar storyline of a vet coming back home, a black vet coming back home, and it just like, business as usual. It's like, but this one's been all over TV. He done saved the universe like a couple different times. Yeah. And he's still a black man.
My favorite joke is he was like, Ben Mendelsohn was like, something about his mid 40s, his midlife crisis. He was like, what you do for your midlife crisis? The Avengers. I was like, oh, that was fire.
Black man.
Right.
But it was a really great conversation.
It was.
And I like how Marvel keeps bringing in those very real conversations, those very real pieces of history. And that's been something that they've done since the beginning of Marvel and DC, because we can go with that Republican Democrat. The whole mixture of this was Marvel at one point. But anyway, it's always been a social narrative. And that's what I appreciate about it, because it's like, okay, well, we ain't going to get in your face about it, but how about we make this alien into
yeah.
Hydra is really the Nazis. Like,
yeah.
I love it. But yeah, go ahead.
We end with episode 2 with him going to his house. The audience sees that a woman's a Skrull.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing for that whole week was, does Fury know? So before you seen the 3rd episode, what did you think?
I was like, okay, wait a minute. Because in the opening credits or whatever, they have Nick Fury as, half Nick and half Skrull. And I'm like, is he Skrull? Is this actually Nick Fury or is this Skrull now? So that's what I was thinking when he walked into the house or whatever. Or
Interesting theory.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm probably like blending the episodes together a little bit because I just watched
you binged it.
I watched the second one yesterday, and then I watched the third one for the first time today, 2 hours ago. But yeah, when I saw that, and I saw he was walking to the house, and I saw she was in. I'm like, Is this the real Nick Fury? Or is he still in space? Is Nick Fury even alive? Is he in this?
Yeah.
So many things went through my head at that point. So I didn't know. I didn't go directly to did he know that she was Skrull or not? I just went to I went immediately to him.
That was a big thing for the week. Yeah.
Yeah, I went immediately to him. Is this the real Nick?
We didn't go to that because we kind of figured Marvel wouldn't do that again twice because they did that on the Spider-Man movie. Mm-hmm. So they're not gonna have Nick be a Skrull. But everybody was wondering, does he know?
Oh no!
So with that being said, we do find out in episode 3 that he does know. That's how they met. They met back in the day,
in the 90s.
Yeah, and the whole promise. Which, by the way, their CGI for the young is pretty good.
It's good and weird. It's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, very good, very good. What episode 3? What else happened in episode 3? That was major. Because I want to get to the ending. Yeah, you just seen it fresh in your head.
So, and then I'm getting into the theories too because I was watching Screen Crunch.
Oh yeah.
But the whole conversation between Talos, which is a very Greek name, at least it sounds like it to me, and forgive me, I'm never.
Oh yes, in the car. You talking about when he was cleaning up your mess?
Yeah. That one, and then also the conversation with Talos and who we were just talking about, who's playing Marley.
Oh, Ben Adair.
Yeah, who's playing Gravik.
Yeah, Gravik.
Yeah. So look, I've never known individual people until
That's why I keep saying Ben Mendelsohn. I don't even know. I don't even know his characters.
Yeah, but that conversation, and it kind of went into that kind of Matrix moment when he snapped his fingers and everybody turned it to him.
Yeah, that was dope. You think he was going to a restaurant on even ground?
Yeah,
it's not.
And then that showed you just how much more the Skrulls have been really
Yeah. Another scene I like too, real quick, is "Tell me something I don't know." That was a good scene.
Oh,
that was a good scene.
So I love Sam anyway, but I love those connections that really humanizes the characters because Nick Fury is not just this Top Gun super agent, he's still a man. He's still a person.
Yeah.
Which we forget about because this is a fantasy world. This is a world surrounded by aliens and superheroes. And
at this point,
so.
he's playing on his Sam Jackson-ness too on this show. That's another thing I like about it. It's just Sam Jackson at this point.
Yeah. Because somebody mentioned how his southern accent came out a couple times.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but that's cool.
Yeah, I can hear it a little bit. I can hear it a little bit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then we end episode 3. I'm sorry.
Number 2.
His wife grabbing a gun from the bank safe, and getting a phone call, a mysterious phone call, which I did recognize the voice. Now, did you?
I did not.
Okay.
So that's another reason I got to go back and rewatch it.
You have to go back. Do you want me to tell you?
Yes, tell me.
I firmly believe that it was Rhodey. And
that goes into my theory of her possibly being a double, triple agent.
I think so, too.
Because he been gone, and she said, I returned to being me.
She did.
Okay,
she did.
Sis.
Yeah. Before you met me.
Right, Sister Skrull.
I said, all right. He just took it, too. He was like,
Yep. Okay. All right. I can't say nothing about it. Like.
Yeah, he just went on like, all right, I'm going to bed.
Right. Love you. Thanks for the eggs.
But yeah, Rhodey, and the high rumor is, and we'll leave this as the conclusion kind of, that he is a Skrull.
Yeah. I saw that. And it's like, so when I was watching Screen Crush, Screen Crush, you're going to have to start paying us some money now that I'm but yeah, so it's just like going through that. It's like, okay, who's actually themselves and who's actually a Skrull? Especially after the blip. Like, we don't know now, and now we see that the real impact of the Skrull. So it's just like, Especially like that conversation, going back to the conversation that he had with Fury. It's just like, this don't seem like Rhodey. Even though Rhodey, as we seen in like the Civil War, right? We saw that he can be so gung-ho government. But then he can also be like, nah. So it's just like, that's where it's kind of like that. I feel like
post-Civil, and mind you, he's been here like it's Earth. Right. But he's been on Earth. He's been on Earth during the, I'm about to say pandemic, Jesus Christ, during the blip years.
Yeah. That's so pandemic, basically.
Yeah. So he's been in government mode. So I can see it. And he's always been pro-government anyway. Right. So I can see it.
Right, so I can see that is him, but then I also it's just like, it's still just like,
yeah.
Especially because I don't know if you have even went over this theory that the Skrull are Hydra or infiltrated Hydra, and maybe Hydra is all in control of all of this.
Interesting. If they go back to that well, I'll be surprised. That's very interesting. Yeah. Very.
Yeah, because I mean,
I don't think they're gonna go. I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, we never know fully.
I mean, out of 1 million, you think maybe a couple thousand might be pro Hydra and can form their own. I can see their own little Hydra Skrull group. Not maybe the whole 1 million that's on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. A couple thousand. But possibly. A couple thousand can do a whole lot of damage.
Yeah, because what another theory is that they've been Hydra the whole time. So the Skrull have been here even before Captain Marvel and Fury or whatever. Oh,
that's interesting.
Yeah. So because they had already been in this war with the Kree, so they had been already scoping out planets to try to, have a backup for if they lost their home. So they sent, some down here to kind of infiltrate and scope out the place or whatever. And that could have been what they did, was getting the Hydra, and they've gotten close to different superheroes and stuff. So it's a really wild theory. I like that theory. It'll be really interesting if that's the case.
You want to hear the joke theory that's out with Rhodey? The joke theory is because he got transformed into a Skrull back in 2010, back when he replaced Terrence Howard. That's the running gag joke.
I knew you was gonna say something about Terrence Howard.
So that's the running gag around the internet.
We shall see. I'm excited.
I'm excited to see the rest of it too. I'm excited to see how they're gonna connect to the Marvels.
And I like how you do. Is this purposeful, Jarvis?
No, no, that'd have been dope though. No.
Rest in peace, Jarvis.
But yeah, that's the running thing, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it's gonna connect to Marvels.
Yeah, I'm excited to I'm always excited every time a new show or a movie comes out, because I like to see how they weave it in. The continuity is it's
so difficult too.
It's so difficult because I'm really excited for it, and that's a whole nother thing. But I'm really excited for when they actually finally weave in the Spideyverse with the rest of.
I'm more curious. Here's the last question. We'll end down. I know you got to go.
Yeah.
How are you going to introduce the X-Men problem? You can introduce the X-Men, but here's the issue. X-Men is you no more mutants, right? Mm-hmm. If you're okay with the Hulk, if you're okay with Captain America and everybody else,
yeah,
how are you going to segregate the quote-unquote mutants?
And that's where I find that Sony and all the BS just messed up the story. You messed up the story.
Yeah. and maybe that's where the Skrull situation, maybe they'll start imitating people with powers, and they're like, you know what, we don't like nobody with powers.
Yeah, it might turn out that way.
Yeah.
Because we already kind of had that type of situation with Civil War, where it's just like, okay, if y'all gonna be super, we gonna have to regulate y'all because y'all a whole weapon.
Yeah.
So they're probably gonna. I think it will occur again.
Probably.
Yeah. Because, I mean, and that's very telling of world history anyway. We run into the same problems over and over and over and over again, which is another
I can see that. Because if you dealing with, like, in real life, if 12 superheroes came on right now, and we're like, okay, we dealing with this, okay. But all of a sudden, it's 100 everywhere you look. I can kind of see people like, all right, enough.
Right. Like, enough,
Mr. I can kind of see it in real life.
Yeah, I mean, especially because you never know, like, okay, who's good, who's bad, who's anti-hero. Like, can they go crazy any moment and just, because that's, what The Boys was all about. Like, yeah. Like, can we keep these people under control?
I can see them having you're not going to have it as a church starting it, but I can see them doing a community center starting the No More Supers movement or something. I can see it.
Yeah, and it might be ran by Alfie Woodard.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
Because I blame you for killing my son.
Yeah. Good
Bring
call
her back. I love her. Her. Bring her back.
But New Era, where can they find you at?
You can find me at The Poet New Era Sunshine. The other page is my private page, so don't even try to follow it. The Poet New Era Sunshine. That's NUERASUNSHINE Sunshine. And you can find me on Facebook, New Era Sunshine, same spelling.
All right.
But that's about it, yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Nerding out. I love it.
Let us know what you think of Secret Invasion so far, what you think is going to happen, how you think it's going to connect to the greater Marvel universe, and even the Marvels movie that's coming out in November, I believe. With that being said, like and subscribe. Follow us, Blurred is the Word, on all social medias.
I did.
Peace. Yes.